think this is your first out of shower look that I'm giving to you. Yeah, if I don't do this now, I'm probably never going to do it because I'm so tired right now. My feet are absolutely killing me. And just, yeah, the lighting's awful. So it is what it is. So I've ended up booking into like a little budget hotel because I just didn't realize how tired I was until today. Today was meant to be a really easy day, really. It was going to be about 10 miles and it was getting us from Gairlochie to Fort William, and it just kept going. It just became one of those cartoon moments again. I just was like, this is just never ending. Luckily, I had the company of Bella, so I'm so thankful for meeting Bella. What an amazing way to form a friendship. So Bella is from Sweden and she came over to do the Great Glen Way. And halfway through, when we were in Altsea, we shared a room together. And then we went off on our own separate ways on the next, on the next day, the next day. And didn't see each other, but we just checked in and made sure that we were okay. And then the next day we actually bumped into each other towards the end, and basically was like, where are you heading? And it turned out we were heading to the same hostel, so that was great. Then we parted ways again because she carried on the trail, and that's when I went to go find the castle. The next morning we parted ways again because I wanted to go to find this is where your brain ends up when you're on day 19, I think. So yeah, I went to go find the Rob Roy scene, so I did a bit of detour, and then we ended up meeting back again just before Gairlochie, just on the beach. So we then headed to a informal campsite together, and I did what I guess you could call my first wild camp. So yeah, for someone, I'm a campsite girl. I'm not really, this is a itch right there, that's a midgie bite right there. So it was really nice to have Bella there just to keep me company and just to make me feel at ease and help me pitch my tent, because my God, the ground was hard and it was just stones and tree roots. So yeah, that was and I had no energy left either, so thank you. I bet Bella was just like, what is this girl doing? Because I just had nothing left in me. So camped and then woke up to just absolute rain. So it's absolutely chucking it down. I don't want to get out of this tent. So glad I had Bella today on the last leg. It was just so nice to have company. I think if I'd have done that by myself, I really would have gone into like this really deep kind of like, what have I done again moment, and you know, contemplated just going back home. But what has kept me going is Glencoe. Glencoe has been the focus this whole time because it's been on my bucket list for absolutely forever, and I've just been like, Glencoe, Glencoe, Glencoe. If I can just get to Glencoe. But now my heart's kind of broken a little bit because the weather is absolutely shocking. I do not want to do Glencoe in bad weather. It shouldn't be done. So there is going to be a possibility of doing some rest days in Glencoe until the weather is better, because I want to go through that place and that valley, and even if I've got it in me, do the Skyfall Road when it's bright, glorious sun. Just gotta be done. I'm definitely feeling it now, physically. Mentally, I think I'm okay. Like, I keep telling myself, look, you're still alive. You're managing to feed yourself. You're managing to sleep. It's okay. Everything's fine. But physically, I've really, really felt it today. My feet are absolutely killing. When I started to do this, I knew it was going to be a challenge. I knew that. I didn't think it was just going to be a walk in the park, and I knew there was going to be challenging moments, and I knew physically it would be tough going. But then you don't really know what you just can't prepare for this. You just don't know what's going to happen. So my feet are killing, which I always knew would be the case, but I didn't realise that they would hurt so much that if I just moved them in the slightest of ways, I would end up with severe cramp. Never experienced, well, I have experienced cramp before, but never to that level of just like, oh, okay, now cramp's happening, oh my God. So that's been interesting. Yes, I do need to stretch more. I know, I'm terrible. So stretch more, Leah. The other thing I didn't realise that I would be doing is at the beginning in week 1, I ended up with those blisters because of bog gate, and I then didn't realise at this point that they would harden so much that I was having to, and I'm sorry, this is really grim, so I would, if you're sensitive, but I did not realise that I would be cutting off hard, dead skin off my toes. So that's been interesting. Irony moment today where I've been feeling very, very sorry for myself in Morrison's Cafe, having a little bit of a you need to sort yourself out, Leah, come on, get with it, girl, you've got this, kind of trying not to get into like this deep funk. And I'm sat there, I'm wet, I'm soggy, I'm probably dripping water onto the floor, I'm just desperate for this jacket potato. I ordered chips as well and some garlic bread, and I just needed just to eat and just be warm again. And then on comes I'm singing in the rain. Yeah, thanks Gene Kelly. Thank you so much for that. So I've had my shower and it was a very weird moment. You kind of stepped into this capsule and then you it felt very sci-fi. It was very weird, and and I was like, oh, it's a little shower curtain. There's a sign saying, please make sure it's on the inside. We don't want the guests downstairs getting wet. All this kind of stuff. And I thought, oh my God, I just really want a really nice hot shower and this is going to be a disaster. It turned out to be the best shower that I have had on Leah's big walk. It's like I almost want to get back in it because it was absolutely incredible. So yeah. So the plan now is just to relax as much as I possibly can tonight, and then I start the West Highland Way tomorrow to Kinlochleven, and hopefully, fingers crossed, praying to whatever is out there, sending positive vibes into the universe, then it's going to be really good weather.